I know that the intimacy director thing is kind of new, so I wanted to hear like what was your process and how did you go through that?
Well, what we have to do at the beginning is there's a lot of homework where I talk to the director, find out what her vision is. Then I have phone calls with both actors to find out their boundaries, where they want to be touched, where they don't want to be touched, what they're willing to do and what they won't do, nudity, all that good stuff. And then relay that to Phyllis so that when we get in scene and we start rehearsal, we can make sure that that scene is filmed the way she wants it within the actor's boundaries. And to make sure that the actors are comfortable when they do it, because they have autonomy to say no up until she says action. So if anyone in those scenes, they were like, I don't wanna do it, we have a problem, but I have to tell her, we can't do it, we gotta figure out something else. So I'm the one that makes sure that the actors feel safe enough to do that, and then don't lose themselves while they do that. So, yeah.
And I want to say this is my first time working with an intimacy coordinator, and it was definitely helpful for the car scene mostly, because it was the actress, it was a lot for her. She had never experienced anything like this, and she really took it on. And it was a lot for me, honestly, because I had never directed anything. It's also based on a personal story, so it was really like wonderful to have an intimacy coordinator. So if there are any filmmakers in the house who are doing, you know, something like this, definitely I would recommend Nikki. But if you can't, if she's not available, find an intimacy coordinator, because I think she really elevated the production.
We're not just for scenes like that, we're for, I mean, something as simple as kissing, because kissing is real, and you can't fake that. You can do it a little bit. I know in your film, I was
Yeah, they had a lot of chemistry between the two of them. I think they dated after. I'm also a love matchmaker, I guess.
Right, but it's, I mean, something as simple as that, kissing, touching, anything like that, and just, you know, in that one car scene, there wasn't a minute for almost an hour where she wasn't being touched by someone, even in the scene or between the scenes with hair and makeup. So it was up to me to make sure that she could walk away. And I would tell the AD, find me 5 minutes, because she's gonna need it at some point, so that she can settle back into herself to get ready for the next time the next take, without having to have people touch you the whole time. Even for Mo, I mean, he's a guy, but he's not that guy. So he has daughters, so it's like, keep him in the headspace. If he needs to come out of the headspace, make sure I can get him back into it without him feeling creepy, you know? So it helps a lot. And even with Phyllis, having just to make sure that, okay, she's almost done. She has, if I told her that Dominique was like, she's got one more take and that's it, that way we kind of figure out how to make it work without pushing Dominique past where she can go. So, yeah, good stuff. Good.
Any other questions?
I'm just curious how you prepared yourself for that role.
Oh, well, I already got certified for that, and then just since I wrote the screenplay, I was really familiar with the actual script, and talking to Phyllis for, you know, what was like a year about this, and figuring out how we were gonna film it, how we were gonna block it, and to make sure that it didn't come off like the assault you always see, and that, you know, that the actors would at least be comfortable, because whatever Dominique didn't want to do kind of informed how we did that scene, and how we did both of them actually. And you just kind of put yourself in the mindset like, okay, this it's more of a dance than an assault when we're actually filming. So you kind of break it down with, okay, action 1, action 2, action 3, so that you can keep it technical without it being emotions when the camera's on, technical when the camera's off. Yeah.
And I will say that that really works for me, because I could just focus on the shots with my DP and the lighting. I could check in with Dominique, you know, every now and then, but I felt like she was well taken care of by Nikki.
I have a question. Well, not a question. I want to commend you for telling a story that might not be the normal story we see when someone is raped or something like that. Like, it's just being a woman, there's a lot of times you want to say no and you don't know how, or you're too scared to. So I commend you guys for telling a story like that, where it's not like with a lot of people assumed, I guess the brother would be like, oh hell no, you're gay, get out my house. But we told stories from different points of view that not everybody sees. So, yes. And also with One Chance, when the scene that really touched me is when you're like, what are we gonna tell our baby? And he's like, tell her baby never to give up. Tell her baby to keep going. I'm like, that's right. Good. Yeah, good. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah,
Like,
shut me right up.
I was like, right. Off you go.
Yeah, powerful. And I, like you said, I think that was what made it so powerful, was like exploring that sort of gray area. That it's, and you gave it such powerfully clear voice, like we haven't seen or heard before, and it's so hard to talk about, but you like showcased it in such a clear way that was so powerful.
And the delusion and denial that a lot of people go through too.
Yeah.
So real, like.
Well, I appreciate that, and I have to say, in the process of making it from the very beginning, you know, I have a lot of friends, I'm in a lot of circles, and every circle that I walked in, when they asked me what it was about, I told them, and there was always one or two people that maybe I had known for years who had experienced something like this but never talked about it, and I really wanted to give an opportunity for a conversation to be had about the topic. So,
Okay, so one more round of applause.
Film some of that. Hey, give the